Hello and welcome everybody to another Powered Cube Draft video. I'm paulcheon and today we are still sitting at Diamond. We are pretty close to getting to Mythic. We've been doing it almost exclusively through Powered Cube Draft. We've been doing pretty well for ourselves. We just got a trophy with what I believe is one of the sweeter decks that I've drafted. We drafted 15 lands. If you haven't checked out the video, check it out after this one, of course. Now, before we hop into this draft, I did want to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all of your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy some booster boxes of Strixhaven or you wanted some singles for your standard, modern, or commander decks, go to TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, head on over to HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and live pads, all that utilize a special magnetic technology that allow all their products to snap conveniently into place. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Alrighty. Power? No power. But we open one of the more powerful cards that you can open that goes into basically every deck if you don't open power, and that's the One Ring. So we're gonna take that pretty easy pick here. Other considerations are Reanimate if you're a Reanimator enjoyer. There's actually a couple of good targets here for Flash. There's Woodfall Primus and Vaultborn Tyrant. If you are an aggro enjoyer, you can certainly consider Kellen and Thalia. And I mean, that's basically it. A bunch of kind of middling cards here. Nothing really on the level of the One Ring, with the exception of maybe Reanimate, which has, of course, very, very high upside. All right, moving on to pack one. I feel like I get Orcish Bowmasters more than any other premium Magic card. This just gets passed to me all the time. This card's awesome. I'm going to take it. Agent Bishop is fine. There's a bunch of decent green ramp cards. Ignoble Hierarch, notably the best of these green cards in my opinion. Asika's Chariot is also fine. Some decent lands, and Fiery Confluence as a very, very good spell here as well, but not on the level of the Orcish Bowmasters. Now, notably, I haven't really been doing as well when I do draft decks with black in them, so, I'm going to take this and, be a little bit careful, let's just say. All right, pack one, pick three, what do we have? Brennan 6, Loot, Uro. I mean, look, at this point, I should be pretty flexible with what I take. The Orcish Bowmasters should not necessarily lock me into something. I'm debating if I should just take something like a Springheart Nantuko and try to have some fun with some kind of green land deck. We did see a pack with a bunch of green cards in it. Maybe we get a Nadu. All right. Why don't we try something a little bit different? I'll take the Springheart Nantuko. If I keep getting green cards, then of course we can head down this direction here. I mean, I could have taken the Uro as well, but this means that I don't have to lock myself into a Golgari color, a Sultai deck right away. This pack's interesting. There's a bird, a library, and a Verdant Catacombs, and a stock up. I'm debating between Verdant Catacombs and Birds of Paradise here. I think I'm going to take Birds of Paradise. I think it's actually very close, and I can certainly see the argument for Verdant Catacombs, but I'm feeling green. And being able to ramp into One Ring also seems pretty nice. And if we table the Green Sun Zenith, then we can, of course, Green Sun Zenith for Birds of Paradise, which can be quite nice here as well. Pack one, pick five, we have Bayou and Swords to Plowshares as options. There is Echo of Eons with Orcish Bowmasters, which you can consider as well. And then there's also like a Dark Ritual, but I'm not going to take Fast Bond. This is mostly a trap in my opinion. So for me, it's really the choice between Swords to Plowshares, which is a premium removal spell, or Bayou, which just goes really well with us being able to splash this Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm just going to take Bayou here. I mean, Swords is quite nice, but I mean, look, good removal is not too hard to find in this cube, so I think I'd rather just take the Bayou here and give myself kind of the ability to play these Orcish Bowmasters. Now we have, I guess, a Sneak Attack, which has a lot of upside. I mean, there's an Ancient Tomb here as well, and a Questing Beast. It's still early. Let's take Sneak Attack, right? Like, I can still be some kind of weird, like ramp deck with Sneak Attack in it. So I'm going to speculate on Sneak Attack, and if I find some nice large monsters to be able to sneak in, I'll certainly be happy enough with that. Here I'll take Generous Scent. We did pick up the Bayou, so that just gives us extra good mana fixing. Don't really care too much about Eternal Witness, and also don't care as much about being aggressive with Michelangelo or Saz's Chocobo. So let's just kind of set up a good mana base here if we can. Pack 1, pick 8. I'm going to take Underground Mortuary. A nice land to fetch for if I do need the Surveil effect. Force of Negation, notably, is also pretty solid, but we have 0 blue cards. Let's take this. And now, by the way, with the sneak attack, there was a Woodfall Primus, I believe, but there's also Vaultborn Tyrant here. I can take Vaultborn Tyrant or Preacher of the Schism. I'm going to go with Vaultborn Tyrant. Let's go big. Like, Preacher of the Schism, if I was more like a Golgari mid-range deck, would be totally fine. But this is a nice top-end threat with something like a sneak attack, and this is something powerful that we can try to build towards. So let's do that. Pack 1, pick 10, we have Badlands versus Lotus Cobra and Fanatic of Ronus. I think I'm just going to take the Badlands here. I'm not super high on Lotus Cobra, so I'd rather just take the lands here, to be honest. And now I'll take Ren and 6. Again, we can be like a goal. We can totally be a Gruul deck here, splashing black if we need. Here I'll take the Green Sun Zenith. There's a Mogda in the pack and also a Nissa who shakes the world. But I think there's a lot of flexibility here with the Green Sun Zenith. We already have a Birds of Paradise. This is a Figure of Fable, but I can also take the Blackcleave Cliffs. I think I'm just going to take... You know what? Let's just embrace the Jund. You know, just go full Jund here. We have pretty good mana. Let's see if we can make something work with that. Definitely need more things for sneak attack here as well. All right, pack 2, pick 1. What do we have? There is Mana Vault, which can be nice just to be able to cheat in like the One Ring pretty quickly. So I think I might just take that. As far as anything in the Jund colors, there's like a Gut, but this certainly doesn't feel like a deck that's going to fully maximize on a card like Gut. So yeah, let's take Mana Vault. Go for some power. We can ramp it to Vaultborn Tyrant. We have excellent mana fixing here. So liking this setup here so far. Green Sun Zenith, I think I'm going to play, but right now, obviously, like if we had a Lotus Cobra, that would be even better. But green seems somewhat open. Not fully open because there was that Ignoble Hierarch that didn't table, but still. All right, pack 2, pick 2. There is a Worldspine Worm, which does work with sneak attack. There's also Fury, which is just a really good card. I think I'm just going to take Fury here. I think just leaning into like a Gruul deck, maybe with the splash of Orcish Bowmasters, is totally fine. There's also Ugin, Eye of the Storms, though. Do I want the interaction more than the Ugin? You know what? I'm going to take the Fury. Ugin is really powerful, but I think Fury is just, you know, a totally fine, fair creature that I can just play. That's quite powerful, and even with sneak attack, it's not terrible. So let's go with the Fury. I feel like if I want to pick up some big top end, I can. I already have a Vaultborn Tyrant that I will probably try to play as a 7-drop, so I don't want to go too heavy on the 7-mana slot here. All right, pack 2, pick 3. What do we have? There's a Psychic Frog, which is fantastic. Mystic Confluence, a bunch of good blue and black cards here, but I will not be looking to take any of those cards. So for me, I can choose, you know, Corey Steelcutter, which I think is only just like mediocre in this deck. There is a Stomping Ground, which is really nice because I can use that. I can fetch that off of the Generous Ent, or I can take something like a Scalding Tarn, which right now gets me a Badlands. It doesn't get me a green source, so it gives me another black source. But of course, in general, fetch lands are a little bit more powerful. So I think I'm going to take the fetch land here. All right, pack 2, pick 4. What do we have? There is a Restless... Barrowgoyf. I'm going to take that. There's also Go for the Throat and Restless Cottage and Seer, but, you know, if you can take a look at our mana base here, black is essentially free, and Barrowgoyf is just a powerful mid-range creature to play, so I'm going to take it here. And moving on, we have pack 2, pick 5. There is an Endurance, which is just a totally fine, playable creature. Don't really care about Chromatic Star. There's also Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, which, you know, I don't hate. And also Elder Gargaroth, which is another random, fine, large creature to play. But I will note that Overlord of the Boiler Bilges is certainly better if I'm trying to play something like Sneak Attack, as, I mean, you can just deal a ton of damage to your opponent. So I think given that I'm probably going to be like a red-green base and I want to see if I can leverage the sneak attack, let's go with the Overlord of the Boiler Bilges here. All right, pack 2, pick 6. What do we have? There's a Screaming Nemesis, Unholy Heat, and some red-green lands. There's also a Terra Sunder, which is a pretty good removal spell. It's kind of a nice catch-all card. I think my mana is pretty good to the point where I don't need to take one of these lands. So I think I'm going to look at Unholy Heat or Terra Sunder. I guess I could use some cheap removal. Let's go with Unholy Heat, sure. Honestly, especially because I'm also looking to play a deck that has the One Ring, just being able to make sure you don't get run over early, I think there's a lot of value there. All right, moving on to pack 2, pick 7. There's a Troll of Khazad Doom, which does get me all of my colors. Unclear that I need the card, though. There's also Mindform Harmonizer. I don't care too much about that. I do like K-Command a decent amount, though, so I think I'm just going to take that. I don't really care for Retrofitter Foundry, but if I'm going to go full Jun, K-Command, I think, is a totally fine inclusion in these types of decks. Moving on to pack 2, pick 8. While late Skyclave Apparition and Lorien Revealed, there is a Boomy Unleashed and a Bonehorde Dracosaur as top-end options. I'm going to go with the Bonehorde Dracosaur. I have enjoyed this card. Like you play this, and if your opponent can't kill it, I mean, it just kind of wins you the game. So let's go ahead and try that here. This pack has nothing that I really want. I don't think I want Gix. I think black is going to be on a lighter splash, so double black seems difficult. I can take Savannah here, or I can take a Pyrite Spellbomb. I'm going to go with Savannah. I mean, there's always a world where like I get some kind of really good white card, and so let's go ahead and take that. Pack 2, pick 10. There's a Batterskull. I don't like this if I just cast it. I'm going to just take Bossing Say, just a fine land to utilize my mana with in the late game. Pack 2, pick 11. There is a Kaito. I guess I could potentially splash that if I wanted, but I think I'm just going to take a Fabled Passage here for more mana fixing. Now we take Restless Cottage for more mana fixing. Then we can certainly put Endurance into our deck. And yeah, I mean, our mana is ridiculous, right? Our mana is absolutely ridiculous. All right, but we could use a little more power, I would say. Our mana is, however, perfect. All right, pack 3, pick 1. There is an Entomb. There's a Shieldred. Shieldred is quite powerful. There is a Craterhoof Behemoth. That's an interesting thing to sneak in. Remember, we still have the sneak attack, but we don't have like the crazy mana generation where I think the Craterhoof is going to be awesome. I do think our mana is probably good enough to just go full Jund, in which case I think I'm just going to take the Shieldred because this is just like straight, just the actual best card here. And then maybe we table the Zayatora's Proving Ground. This is like one of the most fair decks that I've ever drafted. We'll like all the cards are fine. We'll see how it plays out. All right, there's a Torsten. There's also Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Ooh, Underworld Breach. So this is an interesting pack. I'm not going to take the Flooded Strand. There's also Skull Clamp, although it's only really good with the Springheart Nantuko. So for me, I am looking at Torsten or Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Torsten is nice with Sneak Attack, but Fable is just generically a fantastic card. I think I'm just going to take the Fable here. This is like a harder to replace type effect. All right, pack 3, pick 3. Certainly not a Dark Confidant deck. It's a late Mother of Runes. Tinker obviously quite strong. But for me, I think it's a pretty easy Fire Covenant. We are not crazy on removal. Like we have a Fury, a K-Command, and an Unholy Heat. And this is just perfect for what we are trying to put together here. So let's go ahead and take Fire Covenant for our deck. All right, pack 3, pick 4. There is a Flage, but as good as my mana is, I don't think I'm going to be able to escape it very often. So I don't think I should be taking that. So then it becomes Chain Lightning, Wooded Foothills, and Deep Cavern Bat. I mean, Wooded Foothills is just ridiculous, right? I mean, it gets me Bayou or Badlands. Like I have to take the Wooded Foothills here. All right, pack 3, pick 5. We have Once Upon a Time, which is a totally fine playable card. Wastewood Verge for more mana fixing. I don't really care for Blood Tithe Harvester, so I think it's between Once Upon a Time, Suplex, or Wastewood Verge. You know, why don't we try Once Upon a Time? Feels like it could be an okay deck for this card. Moving on to pack 3, pick 6. We are certainly going to take Delighted Halfling here. Do like that card a fair amount. A little bit more ramp. There is an Emrakul here if I wanted to, like, sneak in an Emrakul, but that doesn't really do anything. There is a 6, which is just a generically solid card to play. So I think I'm just going to take that over Territorial Kavu, as I'm only a 2-color deck here. There's also Fatal Push, but I think I'd rather have the threat here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. Pack 3, pick 8. What do we have? There's some white removal effects. There's this thing, which I still, to this day, don't know really what it does. At the beginning of your main phase, if you attack, put a +1/+1 counter target creature and make a food. I guess I take it. I don't know if I'm going to play it, though. Pack 3, pick 9. We have not much. There's a Legion Extruder, which I don't care too much for. I think I'm just going to take Reckoner Bankbuster. I think I could use another, like, kind of value engine. So let's go ahead and take that. And I don't think I have enough stuff here for the Green Sun Zenith. All right, now we have Flooded Strand. Flooded Strand is literally the worst land for this deck, so I think I'm just going to take Pyrokinesis here for more interaction. Free spell certainly much better, especially when you have something like the One Ring in your deck. Now we have Showdown of the Skalds and Gaia's Cradle. I'm not a believer in Gaia's Cradle. I don't think I'm going to take that. There's Galvanic Blast and Showdown of the Skalds. I'm going to take Showdown of the Skalds. This is another value-based card, which can be quite nice, especially given that we have this Savannah here. Now we can choose between Elvish Mystic or Sacred Foundry. I mean, we took the Showdown. Let's take the Sacred Foundry, I guess. Now we take the Wastewood Verge. Our mana is absolutely ridiculous once again. And now there's a Temple Garden versus a Sirach. 4, 5, 6. We'll take Sirach. I actually think I might be light on playables. So we took the Sirach for that reason. Okay. I didn't have time to actually do a full count, so we'll see where this ends up here. All right, well, I mean, this is another different deck. Let's see how we end up liking the way this one might potentially play itself out. We have Generous End, so that means we can certainly cut a land here. I think I don't want this Deceptive Landscape. I don't think I want Plains either. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 mana sources. This also does not look like the best Fabled Passage deck, but, I mean, I only have the 3 basics. But we'll figure the mana base out later. Let's figure out the playable cards here and see what we need to cut. All right, let's cut Michelangelo. I don't know, and, you know, Territorial Kavu as a 2-mana 3/3 is still probably fine. Also, this is not really a deck that needs Sneak Attack. I think my plan is to just hardcast these things and just not put myself, like, down a card that doesn't have that much impact here. I think Sirach can certainly go. I think I can cut Vaultborn Tyrant. Just keep my curve a little bit lower here. All right, after thinking about this more, I think I'm just going to cut the white. Only because I don't want to play a Plains in my deck. My mana is actually not as insane as it seems. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We can cut one more land here. Our red, we actually want lots of red sources because we have all the double red cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Noting that the Generous Ent doesn't actually get us a red source, unfortunately, because we did not pick up that Stomping Ground. So I don't want to cut any of the red. I guess I can cut like a Wastewood Verge, or I could cut a Savannah, because you want the basic lands for the Fabled Passage. Savannah is only really good as a way to grow the Territorial Kavu, but I think that's not necessary unless, once again, I want to play the Showdown of the Skalds for value. Let's just cut the white. All right, well, you know, this is certainly an interesting one. It's like about as mid-range as it gets. I'm not clear that I need to play this Green Sun Zenith, but I'm going to try it. I have 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, and then if I have a lot of mana, I can potentially go fetch the Generous Ent. So certainly not the best Green Sun Zenith, but also not necessarily the worst. All right, let's give this a whirl. It's a deck, okay? We have good mana. We have decent interaction. Is it the best deck? Probably not. We don't have power or anything like that, but I think we can make it work. All right, now before this round starts, did want to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, I do have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Lots of benefits depending on the tier. Check it out. All right, gotta keep this. Noting that Scalding Tarn does not get me a green source. So let's just lead things off with Once Upon a Time. There's Black Cleave Cliffs, but that's not necessary. I'm gonna just take the 6 here just because it's a good spell. Let's play Scalding Tarn here and pass. Yeah, the mana for yesterday's deck was way better. So yeah, no green source. I guess we just get Badlands here. And then we have K Command and Orcish Bowmasters. I mean, is there a world where they, like, play another thing? I don't know. I'm just going to play Bowmasters. Just have it in play so that if they want to sacrifice this clue, I will get my token no matter what. Alright, there is my green source, but we're going to play Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Let's attack first. As the Fable will get me a green source too if it resolves. They drew a card off of the clue. One to the Tameo, and our Orc army grows. So we have a nice little board developing here. Orcish Bowmasters of their own. Very, very nice. Okay, fair enough. And we hit Fabled Passage. All right, so now I can pitch some cards here if I want. What does 6 do? What do I want to pitch? Restless Cottage for sure. I think it's just Restless Cottage. All right, we hit Copperline Gorge. Yeah, oh, I don't want to discard 2 cards anyways. All right. So now what do I want to do? I can Fabled Passage for a forest to kill the Bowmasters, which I think I want to do. Alternatively, I can go 6 and just retrace the Bowmasters out of my graveyard to kill theirs. That's also totally fine. 6 cards in hand. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. All right. So good board here for us still. Got our Orcish Bowmasters back. We have Ren in 6 next turn to get back a land if we need. And then we have a K command as well to get back 6. So just full on mid-range here. Let's see what they have. They have a Deep Cavern Bat, but I have 2 ways to kill the Deep Cavern Bat. So everything is totally fine on that front. Baleful Strix. Okay. I'm okay with that as well. Oh my gosh, that's gross. Yeah, let's kill the bat. Not that it matters. All right. Fable of the Mirror Breaker flips. We have Ren in 6, which we can use to... Let's see, when this attacks, I can put a land card from among them into my hand. So I can kill the Strix now with the Ren in 6, and then I can play K command later if I need. Let's kill the Strix. Attack. Mill 3. Get back a land. The Wastewood Verge gives us like all the colors, so let's... Oh, it's among the cards I mill, sure. Alright, and then we play a Wastewood Verge. We have K command up, and we pass. Look, this is just Jun's finest hits. You know who would appreciate this deck? The Duke. The Duke would appreciate this deck. The Reed Duke, if you were wondering. Fallen Shinobi. Alright. Good luck. Let's see what they hit off of this. Oh my gosh, they hit the One Ring. Are you serious? Okay. Yep. And they played a Tamiyo. Wow.
Nothing like warm tea and a fascinating.
Okay, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? This is legendary, so copying that doesn't mean much. Obviously, I can't really go to the face here. I can play a Bonehorde Dracosaur. I can K-command away the Tamiyo. Lots of options. I mean, getting back a land from my graveyard also seems pretty good. Let's get... I think there's still a Swamp I can get, so let's get Fabled Passage so I don't take any damage. There was exactly a Swamp I can get. What do I want to do? So they have the One Ring. Do I need to kill the Tamiyo is my question, or do I just want to play like a Bonehorde Dracosaur? Like, waiting on this to just be able to kill my opponent out of nowhere also, there's definitely merit to that. I'm just going to play the Bonehorde Dracosaur. It's a big flyer as well. Take it from there. 18 cards. I suppose I can still attack with 6 to get a land card back into my hand. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's return Blackcleave Cliffs. Don't need to play the bird. I think I'd rather keep up Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. So we'll just pass. They didn't draw any cards off the One Ring, and now the Orcish Bowmasters is online. We have a pretty good board. They can't really attack me with the Fallen Shinobi either. So this is still looking all right. Like, what I can do is a Bitter Triumph on the Bonehorde Dracosaur. I guess their intention is to, like, try to attack me. I could just copy it this turn. I mean, if they're attacking it that way, they probably want to attack if possible. That's a Barrowgoyf, sure. No good attacks for them. And all we need is a land now, because I can play Overlord of the Boiler Bilges and copy it. All right, yeah. Too much value. I mean, they also had a value-based deck. Like, you know, I've drafted plenty of those like kind of blue-black value-based decks, but we're taking a different approach, right? The Jund colors, you know, were a little more aggressive. Our cards do a little bit more when they enter the battlefield. Their deck was completely fine, very solid as well, but we were able to value them out. All right, on the play here, I am going to keep this. I have a turn 1 Mana Vault, which may or may not be good. I'm playing it just because it's a powerful card. I am not convinced that it's necessarily a very good card in my deck. I do have 3 different fetch lands, so the Wrenn and 6 is, you know, reasonable in this type of deck. Next turn, we'll probably just play out Wrenn and 6 and tick it up. That is an Endurance. Let's just start ticking this up. No need to play the Reckoner Bankbuster off the Mana Vault. My Kingdom for a fetch land. Noting I am not playing the Abzan fetch land, which may or may not be a mistake. It is technically like a... the problem is it's like another tap land, so that's why I chose not to play it, but... Portable Hole on Wrenn and 6. Sure. Oh, on Mana Vault. Sure. Alright, we hit Copperline Gorge, which we can certainly play. We tick this up. And I'm just going to pass. So I suppose they can make like a 2/2 off of this Urza Saga? I don't know. But for me, I mean, it's not the most exciting thing, but... Alright, there's a Gitaxian Probe. Chimpy certainly went way deeper than we did. Well, we have a pretty straightforward Jund deck. Everything is kind of like tries to be a 2-for-1, get you value in some way. You know what I mean? So flash out Endurance here. See if that one resolves. What can they have here? Is it just a removal spell on Endurance? Swords to Plowshares, okay. Alright, they all got shuffled in. Alright, we hit Bossing Say, which is actually very interesting as a way to just like put pressure on my opponent without adding much to the battlefield. At the same time, I do feel like just getting Reckoner Bankbuster going is probably quite nice as well. Okay, remand, sure. Alright. They got a nice little control deck. Swords to Plowshares, Portable Hold, Remand. What are they going to do with Urza Saga? We have, but on our side, it's just, I mean, they have 6 cards in hand, right? But it's just like, I have a bunch of annoying permanents. What can you do? All right, well, there is a Mana Crypt, so definitely going to, or I'm definitely going to attempt to kill it with a Kolaghan's Command, and that is a hard cast Quantum Riddler. Wow. Fair enough. You get an enema with it. Instants and sorceries have retrace. Okay. Green, red. Let's draw a card. That is an Underground Mortuary. I mean, I have to kill the Mana Crypt, right? Alright, discard a card, destroy target artifact. Wow, they have a free counter as well? Oh no, they're just discarding. Whew. Okay. Let's just keep taking this up. And pass. Yeah, I mean, so the Riddler is great in just the sense that it is something that will pressure my Ren in 6. It will actually kill the Ren in 6 next turn. 4 cards in hand. They are a multicolor, just like value good stuff control deck. Ooh, that happens to have Sylvan Safekeeper. Fair enough. I will, well, that's interesting. I did find a Fabled Passage here. So that is an extra land that I can get back. But right now, I don't necessarily need the land, so I kind of just want to kill the Sylvan Safekeeper, I think. Like, if they sack a land here, that's pretty bad for them. Then now I'll respond by casting Orcish Bowmasters. And if they want to sack another land, I mean, I guess we're okay with that. Okay, so they really want the Sylvan Safekeeper. Fair enough. Let's draw off of this. Okay. Let's play Delighted Halfling. Play the Mortuary. Shieldred. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good card. I guess I'll keep it. So they really wanted Sylvan Safekeeper. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. It's because they have the Nadu, I guess. Alright. Losing 2 lands is still a pretty big deal. Alright, let's go ahead and play Shieldred. Let's draw some cards. That's a Birds of Paradise. Can I play it? I cannot. I have this Fabled Passage, but I can't do all the things. I mean, I can still just play it. I don't think I have a forest here off of the Fabled Passage. I'll check. Yeah. Alright, well, whatever. We'll play it anyways. Alright, well, we are out of action. We have a Bossing Say and a Dream. The sick thing is Nadu doesn't even draw you cards, right? It just like puts things into play or into your hand. Just keep them low on lands. Oh, they hit a Bitter Triumph. Okay, Chromox. Okay, Sentinel. Well, Sentinel would have been pretty good here, too. Okay. My opponent has no regard for their life total. I guess you want to empty out your hand because you have the Quantum Riddler. The thing is, they really just shouldn't attack. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe you attack with the Nadu, but like, I just don't think you should attack because if the game goes longer, you're probably in a decent spot here because you have Riddler and Nadu to get all your cards back. But I guess they only have 3 mana sources as well. But my life total is pretty high. I have Bossing Say on the Mortuary, which I might just run out here. And, oh, okay. What does that get us? Oh man, this is. I can get a generous Ent or a 6, right? Those were like the good targets. All right, let's go for generous Ent, I guess. I think it costs 6 mana. Oh, there was also Springheart Nantuko. But yeah, let's just get this. And I can't really attack because they have a 4/6. All right, we'll pass. Okay, there's a land. Okay. How do I want to do this? They're at 8 life. Beat down. That's all we got. I guess I should keep the land in my hand because I have 6 for retrace. Forgot about that. 6 damage coming in. All right, we get another Surveil here, which is good. Restless Cottage. No, I want like actual action. All right, 2 cards in hand. What do you have? It's not a removal spell. All right, so this is going to be a big turn, right? Like, I basically have lethal. And, however, they do have Sylvan Safekeeper and Nadu, so they have at least 3 activations here. If they can find, you know, Lava Spur Boots or Lightning Greaves, that obviously changes things. That is a tapped breeding pool. All right, so we're going off here. Or trying to. That is a Terra Sunder, sure. Next turn, I can attack with, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 things. All right, floating a bunch of mana. All right, targeting that. So there's Skull Clamp. Okay. So now you can use Skull Clamp. Although what's funny is these 2 creatures have Shroud, so you can't even target those. But you can Skull Clamp the Sylvan Safekeeper. But then you just don't have that many resources here, right? So targeting the Safekeeper. Okay. They hit a land. That was very good. Titania! Oh my gosh! That might do it, folks. Titania Sylvan Safekeeper. Definitely very strong. So now they have potentially 3 more tokens here, too. Oh, they can't clamp, obviously, because they'll just die. Yeah. Okay, Overlord of the Baelmerk. I mean, I do have direct damage in my deck. Maybe we find one of those, right? They can make the 5/3 Shroud, make another 5/3. Yeah, I wonder if I should have been going to the face instead of targeting the Sylvan Safekeeper previously. Oh, that's obviously very, very strong. So this must be another land on top. Oh, really? Okay. Look, I mean, wow. Okay. It would be amazing if I somehow won this game because they attacked me with this Nadu. But I can't because they have the Safekeeper. All right, that is a Barrow Goyf, which is quite huge, I will say. Okay, so let's see. 5, 7 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. Yep, can't do anything. They did keep something on top, and they still have that Terra Sunder. 13 cards left in library. We have Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. That would be a nice one. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to keep that land in my hand or not. I was a little bit concerned about them just like attacking me for a bunch of damage, but I think maybe that was not good. Keeping the land in my hand gives me the out to be able to play 6 and then get back the Culligan's Command. You know what I mean? Moving Clamp around to draw a bunch of cards. Yep. That's a grist. I mean, I guess now if I kill the... Oh, I can't kill the Nadu because they have the Safekeeper. Once Upon a Time. Okay, well, we'll play it. Oh, there's the 6. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I would have won right away, right? Oh, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace. I should have kept a land in my hand. 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures with the ability to make a lot more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 19, 20, 24 damage coming in. I'm just doing this to surveil so that I can 6 and then K command. And if it's a land, I'm keeping on top. Yeah, I had a small feeling that that land would have been bad. All right, land. All right. Well, at least based off of their hand, we should be okay, right? As long as they don't have any way to gain life. I think I have plenty of blockers. And I can go 6 into K command your face. They have access to 4 mana. There's 2 unknown cards. And of course, they're going to also need to kill us. They got 10 cards left in their library, but we have a 5/7 reach creature. I mean, again, I don't think they can kill us this turn. Oh, it's non-land permanent cards. Reading is so hard. Reading is so hard. I mean, I think this was still correct, but okay, the K command didn't matter. Ugh, Paul. Paul. So I can get back like Ren in 6. Okay, there's a grist. Man, this is one of those games where I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could have done 1 extra point of damage to the face, right? And then the Ren in 6 would have killed him off. So it's one of those games where like, I feel like had I played this one a little bit tighter, I could have just won the game. I guess I'm just going to play Shieldred, force them to kill the Shieldred so that 6 stays in play, and then maybe I can find some other way to win the game. Alternatively, I can get 6, get back Ren in 6, and then kill the Grist. 1, 2, 3... Alright, so they have access to 4 more 5/3s. So I just don't have a lethal attack here still, right? Because I can only attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures. Okay, sorry, I had it on pause, but I played 6, got Ren in 6, got back a land, then played Shieldred. So, you know, as far as turns are considered, I feel like that was a pretty decent one. No good attacks, and hopefully we don't die. I wonder if they even have any lands left. They got 10 cards left. They probably do, but there's a chance they don't. It would be hilarious if they forgot to Terra Sunder on their upkeep. The thing is, they can't sack their stuff, right? If they sack their stuff, they die to my Shieldred trigger, right? So if they sack something, it would have to be like just the Scalding Tarn. They can make 2 5/3s, I guess. Sack the Scalding Tarn, go down to 1, and then sack the land. And then still Terra Sunder my Reckoner Bankbuster. But then that puts you dead to my Ren in 6. Although they can kill that with the Grist. Okay. No, it's -2. They can't. It's a crazy game. Crazy. This is the second game only. I mean, our opponent's certainly playing super well. For the most part. Probably better than me. I made a couple of little missteps here and there. Okay, they made a token. Life totals are 20-2. Do I have an instant speed creature I can play? No, I just had the Generous Ent, which I can't play if I attack with D6. Right. Oh, they hit Time Walk! Uh-oh! But they don't have the mana to cast it this turn. But next turn, I'm almost assuredly dead here. All right, we need a big draw. I mean, I still have Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, I guess. That's like the best possible out. This is the most complex board state ever. I wish I dealt 1 damage to my opponent somehow, some way. Now they... Okay, so they passed. Okay. Overlord! No! No. All right. Well, what can I play out of my graveyard? Oh, does that work? I can attack with Orcish Bowmasters and then play it out of my graveyard? Did I have this line last turn? Oh my gosh. If I did, this was a huge blunder on my part. I might have had this line as an option last turn. I hope this works. I hope this works. Please? Man, okay, this was a complicated game, and I feel like if I were to give myself a rating on how I played this game, I would give myself like a 4 out of 10. It was just ugly. We figured it out. I mean, it was complex on both sides. That's how Cube can get, right? Just infinite triggers and protection abilities and recursion, all that good stuff. And yeah, I definitely didn't play my tightest to like be able to try to close out that game. But you know what? Hopefully we can turn things around in this one. All right, opponent on the play. Noting, again, I don't have a green source here for the Scalding Tarn. I don't think. I'm still going to keep this hand, but Scalding Tarn. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we'll go Fabled Passage. I'm being a little bit lazy here. Actually, this is going to be really bad if they strip mine me. Okay. They did not strip mine me. Although it's still going to be really bad because they played in a Johnny. Let's play Delighted Halfling and Mountain. Scalding Tarn just gets me Badlands. So, Flage on Delighted Halfling, sure. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So I have a couple of options. I can go Springheart Nantuko Fetch Land or Fable of the Mirror Breaker to just help me find things that I need. I think I prefer Fable just because I just need more card flow. Although the ability to make like 3 1/1s also looks really strong. I don't know. Like making 3 1/1s just makes it so that like I can just... You know what? I take this back. I feel like normally it's better to do it the other way, but let's just do it. Let's just do it. Oh, Sacred Foundry? No, I don't care about that. All right. I mean, they're a Boros deck, and this, like, if I play Fable, oftentimes they'll just kill my token. This way, it's just, like, it's really hard for them to do so. Now, they might still attack me with the 2/1 here, and then I wouldn't be sure what to do. Like, if they play a red creature, I'll be very sad. It's an Abrade on the Nantuko. 2 cards in... Okay. We'll just take the 2 here for now. All right, and we found a land, so that's great. Let's play the Mortuary. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take more lands here. I'm going to pass. Keep up K-Command here. Goldspan Dragon, come on! Whenever creature attacks. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. Okay, so let's go 2 damage, and then what's in my graveyard? Springheart Nantuko. Okay. All right, taking 4 in the air. What do I want to do? 2 cards in hand for the opponent. I do have Shieldred here, and Bonehorde Dracosaur. I also have the One Ring. I mean, I can play this, but it makes it so I don't take any damage. Then I go to 9, then I play Shieldred and draw a bunch of cards and gain a bunch of life. Maybe that's good. I can play the Bonehorde Dracosaur, but it's an absolute disaster if they have a removal spell. But they're only down to 2 cards in hand. All right, let's go for the Dracosaur. I'm going to keep the 1/1 back because of, like, random haste tokens. All right, Dracosaur. Another reason to play the Dracosaur here is if they use a removal spell, then that means that there's a higher chance that my Shieldred will live. And then Shieldred One Ring, of course, is a very, very good combination. White, white. If they hit me with this, then next turn I'm going to have to play the One Ring. Please don't kill the Dracosaur. Okay. Oh. Yeah, great deck. I'm at 2 life. They killed the Dracosaur, by the way, because they're giant jerk faces. Do I want to land here? Yeah, let's just draw. Alright, so they can play a Flage if they want. Overlord of the Mistmores. Whew. Yeah. Okay. This might be a little too much here, folks. This might be a little too much. Alright, we'll go... Black. Shieldred. Draw some cards. Oh, that's close. Okay, Unholy Heat and Fire Covenant. I don't have the black mana, though. Do I have a sorcery in my yard? I don't. So I think I need to cast Once Upon a Time for a black source? Oh, no, that's an instant, though. I've already used an instant. Yeah, I don't think we have enough here, but we'll try. Endurance has Reach. Oh, that's so close. I didn't give myself green mana. Let's see. Would that give me... I did find the Bayou, but I'm just at too low of a life total here. Yeah, it's just not enough. It almost got me there. Oh, okay. Well, you know. Solid Boros deck. Makes sense. It's one of the best things to be doing. Fair enough. We had a completely fine, respectable hand there, by the way. They just went over the top with some of their big things. And a turn where I played the my big creature, like Fiery Confluence into... like, yeah. Sometimes you have it. And if you do, right, you win the game. That's kind of what the Boros decks do. It's like, all, you know, it's like, do they have the removal spell? If they don't, I stabilize. If they do, I'm dead. All right, gonna keep this. Turn 1, Birds of Paradise, Reckoner, Bankbuster, 6, and Unholy Heat. So fantastic hand here. All right, Plains, Endurance, and 6. Let's crack Scalding Tarn. Let's go get Badlands. Play 6. Nice, fair green start. You know what I mean? Look at this. A Birds of Paradise into a turn 2/6. That's just good, clean living. You know what I mean? You know, here my opponent's like doing Urza Saga, Stoneforge, Mystic shenanigans. Yeah, that's good. Definitely good. They got a Cauldron Complete. Also definitely good, you know? Let's get the Swamp. Alright, so we need to kill the Stoneforge Mystic. And now I have to decide on Endurance versus Orcish Bowmasters. Endurance is just bigger. Also, wait, during your turn, I see. I mean, they're playing a white deck. I don't think the Bowmasters was actually going to be that good, and I kind of value this land too. So yeah, let's just pass. Honestly, just next turn, getting a Mountain, slamming a Bonehorde Dracosaur with an Endurance in play, getting some lands back with 6 seems totally fine. Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay. 6 down. All right. Let's crack this for a mountain. Play this. Well, that's it. That's all we got. You know, like I said, this is just good, clean living. You know? We're beaten down. If you kill our stuff, well, we're in trouble. You know, there's another permanent that you have to kill here in the Dracosaur. And then I can follow that up, I guess, with a Reckoner Bankbuster. Now, they do have Mana Vault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, if they play a land for the turn, they can play Cauldron Complete. What do you do? Okay, they did not. They can play it next turn, though, unless I find an answer for Mana Vault. First Strike, Trample, Indestructible, Haste. Okay. It doesn't have Reach, though, so my Dracosaur still does stuff. So now they're going to be looking for a way to kill my Dracosaur. And if not, then, of course, this gives you value, as you can see here. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exile a land, I can make a 3/1 dinosaur. Just lots and lots of value. Path to Exile. Gosh. It's not fair. My opponent has like a great deck with good interaction. Like, come on, man. You're not allowed to do that. Pyrokinesis. Okay. Let's play Bankbuster. Draw a card. Ren and 6 to get back a land, I suppose. And then I guess they can slam this, which is not great. 5/5. It's got Indestructible too, so there's just not that much I can do. Let's just get back a land, I guess. Scalding Tarn or Fabled Passage. Let's go Scalding Tarn. All right. As much as I want to thin out the deck, I'll do it later. Because I want to be able to play this tap land because I'm going to be drawing cards off the Bankbuster. And of course, I want to make sure that I have like all the mana that I can have access to next turn. So like, let's say I draw a card and then I draw a 6-drop like Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. I'm going to be very sad that I have this Copperland Gorge in my hand. My assumption this turn is my opponent's going to play a land here and play Cauldron Complete. They did cast a stock up. If they didn't get a land, that's probably very greedy, but we'll see what happens. Scalding Tarn will probably get me a Sacred Foundry here because I do have a Territorial Kavu in my deck. I have 4 basics, so I have a second mountain as the only thing I can get here with the Fabled Passage. Oh, they do have the land. I don't understand. This was like the easiest play ever. Oh, does this have Vigilance? No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, that was... Okay, well... That was just the biggest miss in the history of misses. Oh, I guess I could have gotten a Surveil land here first, huh? Oh well. We're going to keep up Pyrokinesis. They're at 9 life. Do they want to pay the mana here or take damage? Looks like they're taking damage. 4 cards in hand. We have the ability to cast Pyrokinesis. Although, the awkward part here is I just want to get Underground Mortuary. But obviously if they play something I can Pyrokinesis, like I should probably do that. Plateau. Well, Jeskai Control. Urza, Lord High Artificer. Uh-huh. Well. Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna Pyrokinesis that thing. Mother of Runes. Okay. Alright. Ooh, the One Ring. Well, let's go ahead and slam that one. Let's draw. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is fantastic. I'm at 18. Let's thin the deck. There's the one mountain. Play Fable. And then pass. Okay. They might want to pay for the Mana Vault soon, but we'll see. They can't attack me this turn, and I get to draw another card off the Bankbuster. So, drawing a lot of cards here. We got the Bankbuster and the One Ring. We have Overlord of the Boiler... I like how it's always we have Overlord of the Boiler Bilges as like, by the way, that is the thing that we have. Okay, sure. Okay. Let's draw first. Okay. Discard up to 2 cards. Blackcleave Cliffs and Mana Vault. Okay. Green Sun Zenith. It's always Green Sun Zenith. We have Territorial Kavu. We have Springheart Nantuko. We have the Generous Ent, which is always something to consider. They're at 7 life. Well, certainly playing the Delighted Halfling here. I want to be able to cast Fire Covenant end of turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just not sure what to play the Green Sun Zenith for here. I guess I just do it for 6. Oh! Wait, where'd it go? Did I land cycle it? Oops. Oh, that's not good. All right, well, let's just play this, I guess. Oh, that was obviously a mistake. Yep. Okay, well, let's go wide. 10 cards left. They're at 7. I'm at 16. Got a big board here. I'm still feeling pretty good about this. But, you know, obviously they have a Mana Vault available. Coveted Jewel. Oh my. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls, and okay, so I get that. I get that card next turn. All right, so they're gonna need a big find here off the Coveted Jewel. I might actually deck myself, so I gotta be careful because if I draw 3 cards off the One Ring, 1 for my turn, and then get 3 more cards off of this thing, like, obviously I'm gonna have a full grip, so I'm likely going to win. But I'm just, you know, just noting that I do need to be careful. All right, they're at 6 life here, but they have access to 6 mana. A sweeper would certainly be bad. Upheaval, I guess. Time Spiral. Yep. Yeah, not having access to the Fire Covenant there was obviously very bad. All right, we do have Pyrokinesis here, though. Displacer Kitten. Oh, geez. With Coveted Jewel? That might be game, folks. Oh, my gosh. Is this a may or a must? Really? They had Solitude too? Damn, okay. Alright, here we go. They got 3 mana with Displacer Kitten. And a Lightning Greaves. We've been playing against some brews. Bougie? This is a brew. I mean, our deck is naturally weak to these types of decks. Like, we want to play against more, like, aggro decks. Although, funny enough, we did lose to the aggro deck. But, yeah. Sure. Alright, I'm done. I mean, Displacer Kitten plus Coveted Jewel is insanely sweet. Maybe they don't have another spell. Time Walk? Time Twister? Yep. Alright. We start over. Okay, Coveted Jewel. I mean, this is definitely a cool way to lose. So we'll see what, you know, this is giving us inspiration in case we decide to do something like this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of figuring out, like, if they have a way to actually kill me. So, you know what? I'm going to pause this and I'll just give you the end result, because this is just going to take way too long. Update. Soul Guide, Lantern, Ugin. Alright, they're playing a million things now. They're 5 life. So if we find Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, that's our out. Cool deck. Really, really cool deck. They actually have a decent curve, and then they have, like, some top-end shenanigans. Looks like they drew the Cauldron Complete. Greaves. Sure. Does this thing trample? Alright, sure. Alright. I mean, we still have outs, but again, they're very narrow outs, right? We just need to, like, find a way to burn our opponent out. I can't even attack. They have way too many creatures. Draw. Take that. Is my Sacred Foundry exiled? No. So I think the best thing to do here is to thin out my deck here and get a Sacred Foundry. Because I'm 100% dead next turn, right? So we have Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, basically, as our only out here. Because I can go 4 to the face and then Ren and 6 them. Here we go! That did not work. Is there a world where I can deal enough damage to my opponent here? I mean, I do have Shieldred. So let's go K command. Deal 2 damage to them and, like, kill an artifact, I guess. As far as artifacts are concerned, I don't really care. I can also Fury stuff. I'm not sure what I want to Fury. Like, Mother of Runes, Memory Lapse. Wow. That is rude. That is rude as hell. Oh, I have Once Upon a Time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have the mana. Oh, no, I have Fable. Okay, okay. Hold on. So I can go Once Upon a Time and still hit it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Mana Vault. 3. Red. 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 Impending. I don't know why I'm whispering. Oh my gosh, come on now. What? Oh, come on. They had all the answers. We were so close. I can't kill the artifact. Oh, man. What a sick game. I actually thought I had it. Oh, man. Because I was going to Overlord and then Ren and 6 them through Memory Lapse, but they also found the Solitude. I mean, look, they drew their entire deck, so it's, you know, it makes sense that they had something there, but man, my dreams were crushed. All right, on the play here, let's recover from this. Lead things off with Bossing Say, because I don't have an untapped land to get, really. And then let's go ahead and Green Sun Zenith for 1. Let's go get Bird. They're Grixis color, so if they have a removal spell, they might just kill this. Jadar. Okay. That is certainly not something that I expected. I mean, I have this Fire Covenant, so, like, I don't want to use the Unholy Heat, you know what I mean? Pay 1 life, sack another creature, create a treasure token. Huh. Alright, fine, I'll kill Jadar. So they can sack both of these for, like, treasures? Or, wait, they're gonna attack me? What are they gonna do with their treasure? I guess cast a removal spell? Off the treasure? Like, with this trigger on the stack? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. They can just attack me and then make a treasure, sure. Sure. Hey, I mean, the way that I look at that is, you know, I'm just going to take less damage anyways. I don't want the Generous Scent. I'll keep Fire Covenant. All right. Let's just cast Fury. Is this another creature? Yeah, okay. This just allows us to put a lot of pressure on the battlefield, and I have Fable of the Mirror Breaker flipping, so. Evora, okay. I don't know what this deck is, but I mean, I am into 2-2 bracket, so who knows? He's probably looking at my deck too, going, Jund? Who the hell drafts Jund? What's wrong with you? Oh, what am I doing? I'm a dum-dum. Green, red. I should have attacked with this too. Well, I mean, it's kind of close. The thing is, like, I want to keep a Fire Covenant, and I want to be able to play Endurance, and maybe I don't want to use this, like, all my treasures, so I think you can make an argument for either or. It's fine that the Evora pumps. Like, my plan here is to go end of turn Endurance into Fire Covenant. Psychic Frog, okay. Oh my. Well, this is even better than I would have hoped. Target you. Lock. Oh, I guess they can discard 2 cards. Actually, maybe this was bad. Okay, because then they can discard another card to the Psychic Frog. Yeah, I mean, it did just eat another card, and Consult the Star Charts is obviously great, but yeah, maybe that was not perfectly executed. I will be the first one to admit. So 3, 6, 10. I need to deal 4 damage here and 1 more damage here. Okay. So 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 5. 12 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. All right. All right. Well, we're at 5 life. However, we got our opponent down to 4 life. They're on 4 lands. As long as we don't just get burned out here, we're looking okay. That's not going to do it. Yeah. I just attack with everything and they die. Alright, Bossing Say doing a little bit of work. You know, this deck generates a lot of mana, so being able to have something to filter your mana into in the late game is nice, even though the cost is pretty high. Like, it's a tap land most of the time. So, but I do think it's worth it in this type of deck. Alright, opponent on the play here. I have Scalding Tarn, so I do actually have all my colors here, so I'm going to keep this. Pyrokinesis, Bowmasters, Baragoi, Fable. I mean, this hand is excellent. Like, it's hard to draw up a better mid-range type of hand here. Going to be using that Scalding Tarn to get Badlands. So probably just going to be leading with the Sacred Foundry here, just to minimize damage. Rafine's Tower is the play from the opponent. We'll go Sacred Foundry. Foreboding Landscape into Thoughtseize. Okay. Probably taking the Bowmasters, but I wouldn't fault them if they took the Fable of the Mirror Breaker as well. Okay. I mean, yeah, this is the best, like, long-term value card. So, totally understandable. I am going to fetch now in case... Is Tishana's Tidebinder in the cube? I don't know that it is, but I don't want to run into it, so... Also, like, it's not clear that I should, like, play this now, or... Like, if I wait, obviously this can get countered, but then I can safely resolve Baragoi, and obviously there's value there too. Okay. Alright, Baragoi down. So we played our threats. Let's see what kind of interaction they have available. Now, I did find Springheart and Nantuko, so being able to bestow onto the Bowmasters. I'm assuming my Barogoif's going to die. Oh, never mind. They play Toxic Deluge. Okay, well we are dead. We are dead. That happens. That is life. Sweepers, my only weakness. How did they know? Alright, I have plenty of red, so I guess we'll get the black. That is the power of a card like Thoughtseize, my friends. They got a clean 2-for-1 there. Got dealt with all of my good threats. All I have now is this Springheart Nantuko. Ouroboros. Okay, well, I can't... It's just, this is all kinds of awkward, my hand. Alright, let's go Once Upon a Time. I guess if I find a red creature, I can kill it. Oh, man. That is really interesting. So the thing is, I can kill it and then just hope that my Springheart Nantukos get me there. Or, I mean, no matter what, I'm taking the Bonehorde Dracosaur. But the options here are kill the Ouroboros and overwhelm my opponent. And I think that's the play. As much as I want to get value off of this thing, Ouroboros is sick. Alright, so they're at 8 life, I'm at 19. They're down to 3 cards. I'm sure they have other threats here as well. But they had 5 mana and they played a 4-drop. Okay. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Unholy Heat off the top to kill a 6/6? Okay. Look, if they have a creature or a removal spell, we're still okay. I mean, Gargaroth was insane. What a top deck. Holy smokes. Collective Brutality to drain me, kill my thing, sure. And a land, okay. What are these top decks? Alright. Yup. Yeah, I mean, skill game, right? Just pure skill game. That's all this is. That is all this is. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I will make an update though. I feel like my deck needs a little more action. Let's get this. Let's get some stuff in here. I added some more. I added more beaters to my deck. Just curving out. So there's a Sirach and a Mightform Harmonizer. All right, opponent on the play here. We do have a turn 2 Green Sun Zenith for a Delighted Halfling or whatever. Our opponent on Lutri Blackcleave Cliffs into a turn 1 Moon Shadow. Okay. Into their graveyard. Okay. Obviously, Moon Shadow very nice with Misty Rainforest. Commercial District. At least that means that's going to slow them down for a turn. I guess if they hit another permanent, this thing gets really big. Pest Infestation, they did not want. Let's cycle this. I kind of just want an untapped land, so I might just get Forest. Okay, and we found Badlands as well. Okay. Let's go Badlands. I can get Bird or Delighted Halfling. I think I'm going to get... I don't think it really matters, but Delighted... Like, because my mana right now is so good, like 2 green, 2 black, 2 red, I'm going to go with Delighted Halfling instead, as it's a bigger body. Noting that there's a good chance that this dies as well, so yeah. Next turn I can go like Nantuko play a land for more blockers, or I can just like play a Territorial Kavu. Glissa Sunslayer, oof. That one's annoying. Oh, Springheart Nantuko into fetch land, that's what I want. Alright, so let's go Springheart Nantuko into Wooded Foothills, into a red-white land. Oh, no, hold on. This is actually kind of close. So I have Territorial Kavu, or I can go Underground Mortuary to try to surveil. I think I'm going to Underground Mortuary. Ren and 6. I don't think it's impactful enough on this board, and I have plenty of land, so let's get rid of it for now. I mean, I do like Ren and 6, but not on this board necessarily. Like, next turn, my plan is to just, like, slam Shieldred into Kavu on the following turn. We have plenty of blockers here. Glissa's gonna obviously get chump blocked by the tokens, probably gonna be taking some damage here off of the Moon Shadow. Alright, there's a Watery Grave, so another, like, 4-color pile. Whose pile is more powerful? We shall see. Kroxa. Okay. I'll just pitch this. I don't want to take a bunch of damage. 4 cards in yard for the opponent. Jace, Vrin's Prodigy. Okay. K command. That is an interesting one. I can use that to kill the Jace. Make them discard their last card, but then they can escape the Kroxa, which I don't want either. I mean, I think I should kill the Jace, so let's go Mountain. Croc. Okay. Let's return. I'm just going to return to Halfling. Just like get more mana in play. And play into that strategy. Like, I highly doubt they're going to eat this token. So I'm just going to try to get in for damage where I can. Especially when I have a Shieldred in my hand. 5 cards in graveyard. There's a Kroxa. There's a Lutri that's exiled. So their deck definitely has a lot of value. We're going to have to try to grind through all of it. All right, things are attacking. Block the Glissa. Take 4 for Moonshadow. Two cards in hand. I feel like if they had a kill spell, they would have killed the Springheart Nantuko. Deep Cavern Bat, come on. That's not cool. Oh, that is a Barrowgoyf, so that plays. All right. Well, the hope here is they don't have a way to kill Barrowgoyf. If they don't, then I have a real chance here. If they do, then I'm in a lot of trouble. The problem is Glissa has that nasty combination of First Strike and Death Touch, so my Barrowgoyf can't actually attack. But if they attack, then we have hope. Block. Oh, then they can escape the Kroxa? I see. I see. There's 5 cards in the graveyard. So if I block this, this takes 4. Then they exile a bunch of stuff. But this, I have instant, creature, planeswalker, land. So I have a 4/5. So if this, so it'll be a 4/5 regardless. All right. Obviously, if they kill my Barrowgoyf here, it's really bad. But like I mentioned before, if they kill Barrowgoyf, we're in a tough spot anyways. Oh, it took the damage. Oh, they had Pyrogoyf. Okay, well, they are out mid-ranging me for sure. We have Orcish Bowmasters. That was really good. That was certainly really, really good. That was as good as it gets, actually. All right. They have 1 card in hand, a Kroxa in the graveyard that they can play, but I have an active Shieldred, and I have plenty of ways to block here. Okay. I mean, if they don't kill the Shieldred, like, we're looking very, very solid. Activate a Bossing Say onto the Mortuary. We can use that to block. Then the landfall trigger from the Springheart Nantuko would be good. You know what I mean? This will deal 3 damage to us. Okay, Underground Mortuary. I mean, we have very, very similar decks. Okay. I mean, presumably they're going to escape here, the Kroxa. And then, like I said, all we have available is Bossing Say activation, and of course, whatever we draw. Take 3, gain life. Once upon a time. Well, green. I want to leap up double red here as well, in case I find Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. We have Sirach, Mightform Harmonizer, and Scalding Tarn. All respectable options. I wonder if, the weird part here is I wonder if Scalding Tarn is best. So the upside of Scalding Tarn is the fact that I just get 2 tokens off Springheart Nantuko. So it's like 2 1/1s and get to play an extra land drop versus a pretty bad 4/4 here on this board. And Sirach is also pretty bad on this board. Yeah, let's go with the Scalding Tarn. I think I have a mountain. Okay. What happens if we attack with everything? This blocks here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we don't have, like, great attacks. Alright, we'll chill. I mean, clearly they don't have a way to kill the Shieldred immediately. Yeah, I kind of like the Scalding Tarn. Again, it gave us 2 tokens and the ability to still activate our Bossing Say. So this just means we have a gigantic board. And, you know, maybe there's a world where we can overwhelm our opponent here. Okay. Maybe these green monsters were not so good. Fire Covenant? What? Oh, they gotta be really careful here. I mean, they're at 3 life. You know what I mean? Like, I can take a lot of this damage. In fact, I think they're still dead. I think they're actually dead on board. Do I go? The question is, do I go for it? Or do I just play the Bonehorde Dracosaur? Which is also obviously very, very good, and it's like the safer line. Yeah, let's go with Dracosaur. So, the reason why I'm going with the Dracosaur here is, like, if they had the removal spell, then I would have died on that previous attack. If they spend their turn to kill my Dracosaur, I can still go for that lethal play that I outlined earlier, right? So, Kroxa, get in. Even if they kill the Bonehorde Dracosaur, we still have a lethal spot here. With the Bossing Say, that's a Grist. They have to kill the Bonehorde Dracosaur. And given that they didn't play a 2-mana instant speed thing, yeah, we're just going to go for it this turn. Oh, well, that certainly makes things a lot easier. Wow. Some well-timed Unholy Heats off the top, you know? Woo! This was a nice one, just because, like, they basically had more or less the same deck as us. And we were able to, like, barely squeak that one out. All right. Back to the drawing board. All right, on the play here. Green-red. I'm going to keep this. I have a turn 2 Springheart Nantuko. I don't have any black mana. But if I just draw any untapped land, I can go Fable of the Mirror Breaker on 3, which should basically unlock my hand. My opponent went turn 1 Booster Tutor. So. And look, we also have Green Sun Zenith and 2 Mana Dorks as well that we can play here on turn 2. So that gives us, you know, a good number of things that I can draw that I would be happy playing. Gonna go Fabled Passage. As much as I want to play the Springheart Nantuko into Fabled Passage, I think it's more important to be able to play my 3-drop. All right, so they played a Time Walk. Obviously very, very good, but, you know, not completely backbreaking here, especially because they just used it as an Explorer. Let's get Swamp. So now they have Counter Magic up, in which case I think I like the idea of playing 2 spells in 1 turn. So why don't we go Springheart Nantuko, Savannah. And then we'll play Delighted Halfling. Very, very good hand for us. Would love more lands. Okay, another just like 4-color soup deck. That is a Mana Vault. Hopefully they can't use it right away. Nope, they used it right away. Well, we're in trouble. Crabomination, what's gonna... Don't hit Fire Covenant. Okay. So they hit K-Command. I assume K-Command is going to be the play here. It's going to be very good. I mean, they're going to use it to probably, like, make me discard a card and then, like, kill Springheart Nantuko or Delighted Halfling. What do I want here? There's a Barrowgoyf, there's Fire Covenant. I mean, all these cards are obviously very good. I think the Fire Covenant is actually going to be very good. I'm gonna get rid of... Oof, this is tricky. Barrowgoyf also looks really good. All right, I'll keep... I actually don't know if it's Barrowgoyf or Fable there, to be honest. I'm gonna go with Barrowgoyf, but like I mentioned before, I'm not 100% positive that that's the line. The thing is, if they don't have a way to kill this, obviously this can do a lot of work, especially in conjunction with the Fire Covenant that I have in my hand. Now, if they kill the Barrowgoyf, I would have much rather had the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so. All right, they took a point. It's a swamp, and they have a removal spell, so. All right, well, I guess Fable was the line. Go for the throat on Barrowgoyf. They're going to hit me for 5. Gonna keep my life total high because I have this Fire Covenant. And we found an Orcish Bowmasters. Let's attack. Yeah, I guess I'll just play Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, they untapped the Mana Vault, meaning they might not have a good thing to play. We'll see. Alright, I'll just take 5. Fine, whatever. Okay, that is a land, which I'm certainly happy with. Let's attack. Let's play Bankbuster. And pass. Alright, well, they have 1,000,000 mana. I have a Fire Covenant. I can chump block this 5/5. And that's basically it. That's all we got. But I'm fully expecting a big play here. Toxic Deluge is a big play. That counts. Alright, well, we're getting Deluge out of the tournament here twice. I hope... Why don't you just play like a Tameo or something? Just play like another creature. You know what I mean? They didn't want Vaultborn Tyrant? Oh, they have Flash. I see. Because they have no way to cast the card. Alright, that's a Pyrokinesis, which... I mean, technically... I guess that's good. I don't want to take a bunch of damage anyways. Alright, let's play Mortuary. Birds of Paradise I do not need. Let's draw a card. I tapped incorrectly. Oh well. I wanted to leave up red-green to be able to play Territorial Kavu. Alright, 2 cards in hand. No! Why are you tapping Mana Vault? A hard cast Torsten off of Savannah. Alright. Yep, they're like an unfair value deck and, well, I think that might be it, folks. Deep Cavern Bat too? Yep. I mean, they hit. This is just too much. Okay. Yep, GG's. Resolving stuff like a Torsten certainly just goes way over the top of anything I'm trying to be doing. And sadly, we didn't get too far. Now, again, this was a highly mediocre deck, and this is kind of the problem sometimes of putting together a green deck. I think we put together a very respectable finish of 5 wins, given the pool that we had. But there's just so many cards that are just not good. Sirach, the Chocobo, Michelangelo, like all these green creatures are just, I mean, like, green aggro decks just aren't very prevalent, so like the Sirach is kind of medium, unless you're like Gruul with Minsk and Boo. You know, I guess there is like some kind of proactive landfall green deck available, but you kind of need to get all of it. And so if you don't end up going in that direction, then all you're looking for are the green ramp cards. So, which is why I just think green just doesn't do enough, in my opinion. Like, look at my green cards. Like, outside of the mana ramp cards, it's like I would much rather just be like Rakdos. Removal, the threats are just better. But we wanted to give it a shot. We had a bunch of lands once again, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We actually drafted like 14 lands again. So, you know, maybe this is just me doing something like it's leftover from what I did in the previous draft. But hey, I'm happy that we put together a 5-win finish. I don't know that I necessarily played my best, but you know, we had reasonable quality in terms of our cards, decent mana fixing, and we were able to get it done in a lot of the mid-range matchups. But again, we did definitely struggle against some of the more combo oriented decks. Noting that we did play against a lot of like 3-4 color decks, and those decks probably would have struggled against the aggro stuff. But you know what? Another deck, a green deck. We got to showcase that, which is always a good sign. And maybe we go back to drafting our regularly scheduled good decks, which are basically blue decks or aggro decks in the next video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Also check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you're in the market to buy booster boxes of Strixhaven, or you want some singles for your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and much, much more. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.